Meteor Lake is the codename for Intel's 14th generation of processors that are expected to launch later this year. Meteor Lake will be the first Intel chips to use a hybrid architecture that combines high-performance and high-efficiency cores on the same die. This design is similar to what we have seen in ARM-based processors and Intel's own Alder Lake and Raptor Lake chips. Meteor Lake will also be the first Intel chips to use a 3D packaging technology called Foveros, which allows Intel to stack different components vertically on top of each other. This means that Meteor Lake will have three main tiles: a CPU tile, a GPU tile, and a SoC tile. The CPU tile will use Intel's 4nm process node, which is an improvement over the 10nm node used in Alder Lake and Raptor Lake. The GPU tile will use TSMC's 5nm or 6nm process node, which is also an upgrade over the previous generations. The SoC tile will use TSMC's older 7nm or 8nm process node, which is sufficient for functions that are not very performance sensitive. Meteor Lake will also feature a new SE graphics architecture that is expected to offer better performance and efficiency than the previous generations. According to some leaks, the high-end Meteor Lake GPU with 128 execution units could beat out some of NVIDIA's entry-level mobile GPUs, such as the GTX 1650 and the RTX. This could make Meteor Lake a very attractive option for gamers and content creators who want a powerful integrated graphics solution. Meteor Lake will also support DDR5 memory, PCIe 5.0, and Thunderbolt 5, which are all new standards that offer faster data transfer rates and lower power consumption. Meteor Lake will also support Wi-Fi 6E and 5G connectivity, which are essential for modern wireless devices. In summary, Meteor Lake is a major leap forward for Intel in terms of architecture, process node, and performance. It will be the first Intel chips to use a hybrid design, a 3D packaging technology, a new graphics architecture, and several new standards. Meteor Lake will compete with AMD's Zen 4 processors and Apple's M2 processors, which are also expected to launch this year. Meteor Lake is Intel's 14th generation of core processors. It is expected to launch in the second half of this year. It will be Intel's first chiplet processor, composed of 4 tiles: CPU, GPU, I/O, and SoC. These tiles are connected with Foveros 3D packaging technology. This technology allows Intel to stack different components vertically on a base die. What are the features and benefits of this multi-tile design, 3D Foveros packaging, and TSMC-made graphics tile? One of the main features of Meteor Lake is that it uses different process nodes for different tiles. The CPU tile will use Intel 4 process, which is also known as 7nm EUV. This process node is a key milestone for Intel as it enables higher performance and lower power consumption. The CPU tile will feature up to 6 high-performance Redwood Cove cores and up to 8 energy-efficient Crestmont cores. These cores are based on a new microarchitecture that will offer a significant performance uplift compared to the current generation CPUs. The GPU tile will be produced by TSMC using its N3 node, which is also known as 5nm. This is the first time that Intel will use TSMC's process node for its desktop PC chips. This will allow Intel to leverage TSMC's expertise and capacity in making high-performance graphics chips. The GPU tile will support the latest graphics features and standards, such as DirectX 12 Ultimate, ray tracing, and variable rate shading. The I/O tile will also be made by TSMC using its N6 node, which is also known as 6nm. This tile will handle the communication between the CPU, GPU, memory, and other devices. It will support PCIe 5.0, DDR5, and Thunderbolt 4 interfaces. It will also include a low-power island CPU offload feature that will reduce power consumption when the processor is in idle or sleep mode. The SoC tile will be the base die that connects all the other tiles with Fovero's 3D packaging technology. This technology allows Intel to create heterogeneous chips with different components and process nodes. It also enables faster data transfer and lower latency between the tiles. The SoC tile will perform functions similar to the I/O die in AMD Ryzen processors. The benefits of this multi-tile design, 3D Fovero's packaging, and TSMC-made graphics tile are manifold. First, it gives Intel more flexibility and scalability in creating different products for different markets and segments. For example, Intel can swap in new tiles to create faster next-gen chips, such as Arrow Lake and Lunar Lake. Second, it improves the yield and cost of the chips by using larger, older process nodes for less critical functions. Third, it enhances the performance and efficiency of the chips by using smaller, newer process nodes for more critical functions. In summary, Meteor Lake is a new era of performance and intelligence for Intel's processors. It combines Intel's own process node technology with TSMC's process node technology to create a chiplet processor with 4 tiles: CPU, GPU, I/O, and SoC. These tiles are connected with Fovero's 3D packaging technology to create a heterogeneous chip that can run Windows, Linux, and Chrome OS. Intel Meteor Lake CPUs are the 14th generation of processors from the company, and they promise to deliver a new era of performance and intelligence. But when can we expect to see these chips in desktops and laptops, and how much will they cost? Let's find out. According to Intel, Meteor Lake CPUs will launch in 2023, but the exact date is still unknown. Some rumors suggest that the first laptop chips could debut as early as Q2 or Q3 of 2023, while the first desktop ones could arrive in Q. However, other sources claim that there might be no desktop chips at all for Meteor Lake, and that Intel will focus on mobile CPUs only. This means that if you are looking for a new desktop PC with Intel's latest technology, you might have to wait until 2024 for the 15th generation Arrow Lake CPUs. As for the models and price range of Meteor Lake CPUs, there is not much official information available yet. However, based on some leaks and speculation, we can make some educated guesses. Meteor Lake CPUs will use a hybrid architecture that combines high-performance cores and high-efficiency cores in a single chip. This is similar to what Intel did with its previous generation Raptor Lake CPUs, but with some improvements. For example, Meteor Lake CPUs will use a new 7nm process node called Intel 4 for the high-performance cores, while the high-efficiency cores will use a 10nm process node called Intel. This should result in better performance and power efficiency compared to Raptor Lake. Meteor Lake CPUs will also feature a new integrated GPU based on the SE architecture, which should offer a significant boost in graphics performance. According to some leaks, the high-end Meteor Lake SE GPU with 128 execution units could beat out the mobile GTX 1650 and possibly even the mobile RTX 3050 from NVIDIA. This means that Meteor Lake laptops could offer a great gaming experience without needing a discrete graphics card. In terms of models and price range, we can expect Meteor Lake CPUs to follow a similar pattern as Raptor Lake CPUs. That means there will be different tiers of processors for different segments of the market, such as Core i3, Core i5, Core i7, and Core i. The higher-end models will have more cores, higher clock speeds, larger caches, and better GPUs than the lower-end ones. The price range will also vary depending on the model and the features. For reference, Raptor Lake CPUs range from $129 for the Core i3-12100 to $589 for the Core i9-12900K. We can expect Meteor Lake CPUs to have a similar or slightly higher price range than Raptor Lake CPUs. So, to summarize, Intel Meteor Lake CPUs are expected to launch in 2023, but the exact date and availability are still unclear. They will use a hybrid architecture with high-performance and high-efficiency cores, and a new integrated GPU based on SE. They will likely come in different models and price ranges for different segments of the market. They will offer a new era of performance and intelligence for desktops and laptops alike.